First story almost had me fooled. Me, 37M, and wife, 29F, had been arguing over a lot of what I considered petty things. And she would constantly have these blowout drunken episodes that resulted in her leaving. I was not perfect and said some nasty mean things as retaliation for how she was making me feel. Then she would come back in a few days and cry, and we go right back to normal. Then a few weeks, another blowout, etc. Fast forward through 6 months of this crap, and the last time she left, I said I'm going to my sister's for a few weeks to clear my head. I feel terrible for the wrong things I did during our fights, and my accusing her of infidelity without any solid proof, but just a gut feeling. While there, she's calling me and telling me we can work it out, but I have a lot of changes to make. So I start to work on things, start seeing a therapist, and suggest couples therapy when she's ready. I know that nothing will change overnight, but we are working through this and I'm feeling positive. After I get home, she moves out again over a dumb argument, and comes back a few days later and gets all of her things. She's done. She's blocked me on everything and I don't know where she's staying. I call her and take her out to dinner last weekend, and we run into another couple we both know. The husband is grilling me and giving me flack for leaving my wife alone. I then let him know she has been leaving me for weeks. We put the issue aside and save it. Few days later, that same guy calls me to give me the news that my wife is sleeping with her coworker, another married older man with kids my wife's age, and that they've been planning to leave their spouses and start a family together. I get inundated with screenshots and all types of crap. Always trust your gut. I filed the next morning. Merry Christmas. Update. It gets easier. Folks, it gets easier. The holidays are over. The winter is going to set it soon. I, 37M, and my STBX, 29F, haven't had any contact at all in a few weeks after I discovered her months-long affair with a co-worker. I blocked her and she blocked me. In the past few weeks I've managed to remove any and everything about her from my life. I have re-established friendships that have been strained due to the depression I had while fighting constantly. This weekend I went to another state, met another woman for the night, and finally feel like a man again. I've been working out and buying new clothes. I'm taking 3 vacations in the next 3 months. You folks gotta stay focused on yourselves. It's super easy to give up and not eat, shower, do anything but be consumed with what you had and what you lost. Fuck 'em. You're here reading this, and I feel for you. I know what you are feeling, but you're still here. This shit can break even the strongest people, but if you've decided to call it quits and move on, stick to that and I promise you, it gets easier. Update. Paperwork. Wife was having an affair for 6-8 months. Discovered this 2 weeks ago. Filed for divorce. Met at the bank today. She signed over the accounts and loans into my name solely. We signed a waiver for a final hearing to distribute our assets. So basically she walks away scot-free, and I am left with a tab. Her new boyfriend isn't as rich as me. Not trying to sound pretentious. Kinda wondering if I should change that before filing to leave her with half the debt as well. IDK. One part of me is saying take it on the chin and be done. The other side is saying drag her. The latter would make me look like a simp though. Thoughts. Update. Meh. For my entire life I told myself I wouldn't accept infidelity as the emotional pain that it causes for the betrayed. But after reflection, and realizing that my actions in the relationship, while I never cheated, I was emotionally unavailable, may cause any normal person to leave and cheat, I'm kind of at a loss. Should I let this person back for breaking the vows to stay through thick and thin? And if I choose to leave, what does that say of my vows to my partner? Were my vows to stay through better or for worse really meaningful? This is the worst part of any marriage. I vowed to stay. So if I leave now, what do those vows mean to me? Anyway, I am just reflecting. I wish everyone a good night. Update. Flying home from vacation today. So my wife had an affair with a coworker that lasted for a few months, and during that time, it was literal hell. Had me convinced I was the problem and why the marriage was ending, lied about the affair and denied it, and when I found out, I ripped the rug out from underneath her. She moved out and into her friend's little spare bedroom, and her life started to spiral quickly. During that time, she also fucked an old friend of hers. I got a call from her a few weeks ago begging and crying to come home, that she ended everything, and even quit her job where the AP works. I took her back. During that time I was blessed with an all-expenses-paid vacation in the tropics by a long-time buddy of mine, and we were here a week and had a blast. Met tons of wonderful beautiful women, and really felt my confidence boost way back up. I can't go a day without thinking about her affairs, and Rue minimized it by saying she had a cheating period. Now while I was on vacation I didn't cheat, but had every opportunity to do so. I'm getting on the plane in a few hours to go back home. My wife has showed genuine true remorse, but it seems like she's doing this to appease me. I'm not really caring about her affairs anymore, but I'm afraid it could happen again. She's done everything that one would expect to show she really is sincere about reconciliation, but it still gives me the ick at least 3 times a day. Sometimes I wake up and it consumes me. Other days I don't care. I feel like a fool and that I'm weak for allowing her back. Other times I just want to be happy and she still does make me happy. It's very different now, but yes, she makes me happy still. IDK what I should do. Update. Morning thoughts. I've posted all over various groups about betrayal and divorce. I, 37M, was betrayed by my spouse, 29F, and we're reconciling. Other groups have a bunch of insecure folks saying that I'm stupid for trying, that I'm weak, this and that blah blah blah. I like this group because I don't see that going on here. So I'll jump into it and give my own story, because it's helpful to get it out and maybe someone here reading this will gain a new perspective. My wife and I had been having problems, ones that I viewed as small and insignificant, but she viewed as very big and important. She grew tired of telling me her thoughts and feelings only for me to treat those issues she brought like they weren't of any importance to me. After months of feeling like this, she started an emotional affair with a coworker. I became so incensed and focused on something's off and she is cheating, instead of trying to figure out why she would cheat. It's very easy to become self-centered and play the victim card, as betrayal is fucking terrible. Basically our love languages were lost in translation. I have the big job with the big money and benefits blah blah blah. How the fuck could she cheat on Emmy when she has everything? Big houses, fancy cars, worldwide travel. Her new boyfriend will never be able to provide this lifestyle. She's such a fucking idiot. How could she do this? I make the grass green. She thinks she can find better. Good luck. I became consumed with validating myself and hearing tons of people, friends, family, Reddit validating my victim mentality. I spoiled myself during that time with vacations, libations, and relations. But nonetheless I thought only of her constantly. Fast forward a few months after zero contact, and she contacted me. She felt unloved and that her needs weren't being met. She needed the love and affection that was very much absent on my part. So she started to look for validation and love elsewhere. It's a fucking tough pill to swallow when you do some reflection and realize, yeah, I could have been a better husband and acknowledged her needs that she had been complaining weren't met for months. I did some pretty nasty things leading up to our separation, and frankly I'm not proud of myself. All too often the BP finds out they've been cheated on and we become victims, forgetting all of the things we said or did to make our partners feel like the grass is greener elsewhere. We met up, discussed the nuclear fallout of her affairs, and she confessed everything and why she did what she did. She showed true remorse and it has been a rocky road, but we're getting through it. I don't know where this rant is going, but learn to listen and communicate with your partners. Learn their love language and how to communicate. My love language is being a provider, and that's just how I show it. I'm working on other ways to show it as well. There's no excuse or justification for my wife's infidelity, but I learned I don't want anyone else besides her. My wife now understands me better, and vice versa. Hope y'all have a great day. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Update: Revenge affairs. So I've posted here and there a few times. I won't make it drawn out. I was betrayed, we're reconciling, and I happened to meet another person who was betrayed, and we started our own affair. Not gonna lie, I don't feel guilty at all. I flat out told my partner I was going to have my own affairs and that it's part of my healing process. Has anyone else experienced this? Or is this just gonna turn into a gigantic shit show of infidelity for the foreseeable future? Thanks all. Update: some insight as a BP. I still have been wading through the posts here, and haven't posted much myself lately. Feel free to go check my past posts, but I see one common thing here being repeated. BP gets cheated on and WP comes back for reconciliation, and then BP isn't allowed to get some cookies too. Folks, one of the key components for my reconciliation was that I'm gonna have all the cookies I want until I get my fill. My WP agreed to this, reluctantly, but it was my way or the highway. So now I have a one-sided open marriage, my side, until I get my fill. And my WP has been through the ringer, let me tell you. But they're still there, they don't ever try to get upset or angry. The first few times was an emotional breakdown for them, but I had enough of those during their hoe phase. As a BP, our love was tested, our commitment was tested, when clearly they were lacking. So now, I am testing the WP love commitment. And no amount of fucking around will reduce the pain that they caused, but fuck it at this point. It's hot boy summer, and I didn't put in all those reps at the gym to impress my WP. I know I'll get a bunch of responses about how terrible or dumb this idea is, but this is only one person's view, and if the WP leaves, then the love for me wasn't the same. Go out and get your cookies, let them feel your pain. And take the glass of milk too while you're at it. Second story. My 43M wife, 42F, of 13 years had an emotional affair that finally turned physical. What should I do? My wife connected with an ex from 25 years ago last September. He's also married, but separated. It turned into an emotional affair that lasted about 3 months. I found out after countless lies and deceit, but we, mainly me, have tried to work through it ever since. We have 3 beautiful boys, 9, 11, 12, who are truly the light of my life. I can't imagine the thought of losing them. There has been a lot of ups and downs, but I've thought we were trending in a positive direction, and I've maintained hope that we would get back on track one day. I found out today on the last day of our family vacation nonetheless that they recently took it to the next level after firing the affair back up in May. They stayed in a hotel in June for 3 days, never left, and basically fucked like rabbits. I was certainly suspicious that could happen, but I tried to give her the space she was asking for. Well, I found their FB Messenger chats today, and they were throwing the L word around more than I could have ever imagined. There were pictures I wish I didn't see. She was regularly communicating with him while we were together on vacation as a family, where I was desperately hoping for a reconnection. I even booked a kids' adventure for 5 hours so we could have a date. We did an 80-minute couples massage, and I made her a really nice dinner afterwards. The date probably cost $1,000. We even had sex after, so I felt much more connected and secure. In the end, she was still communicating with him and sent pictures before and after our date. I can't understand how a person could do that. It's evil. There isn't a chance in hell I would even consider staying if it wasn't for my boys. Her heart is no longer with me, I know that, but I just can't leave my kids. She says she's not leaving either, but I don't have confidence that she'll end it with that dipshit, so it basically feels like a war of attrition for who will give up first. We're not wealthy, but we're not poor either. I have a great job in sales working from home and make good money. My job is flexible, and I know I can manage my boys on my own if I had to. Financially, we probably have a net worth of just under $1 million. She stays home and manages the household. She's a good mom, and I'm confident that I'm a good dad. I don't do all the usual shit that push women away. Bars, running around with friends, etc. But I know I can be difficult because I'm assertive, opinionated and hard-headed at times. I used to be much wilder, but quit drinking about 5-6 years ago, and have dramatically tamed my passion for sports and other things that she expressed unhappiness about throughout our relationship. She has serious emotional damage from a traumatic childhood, but I've genuinely tried to love her through it and adapt as best I can. So much so that my sister told me a while back that I'm not myself anymore, that I've lost who I am because of how much I've changed for my wife. There's so much more backstory I could add, but hopefully this is enough to kickstart some discussion. Feel free to ask questions if more info is needed, because I would love some opinions from complete strangers. Should I stay or leave? If I leave, how do I ensure my boys don't think I'm leaving them? Should I fight for custody or pick a reasonable battle like 50-50 split with kids and finances? Do I have any legal avenues for ensuring that fuckhead is never near my kids? Thanks for taking the time to help. Third story. My wife of 10 years is divorcing me and I don't understand the reasons. I've been married for 10 years, and in the relationship for another 5. I thought that I have a perfect marriage, one beautiful child, good career both of us, no financial problems at all, good sex life. Now I'm getting a divorce and I don't understand why, what I did wrong, what could I do next, what the hell is happening? The story goes like this. My wife always said that I am an excellent husband. I always took care of the family. We had decent social life. Going out at a restaurant at least every 2 weeks, vacations, staying evening watching TV together. I always said to her that I love her, she said back. About a month ago, after a business trip, she even bought me as a gift a sticker saying that she loves me. 2 weeks ago I started to feel something was off. I started to see some changes in her interactions with me. At first I did not pay too much attention, but more and more signs started to show. Hiding her phone screen from me when using it. Using the phone late in the night. Using the phone chatting. As soon as she woke up and immediately going out of bed when I woke up. I started more and more to suspect what you are already probably thinking, and eventually I found proof. She had sex with another man. He is 15 years older than us. I was devastated, but I thought it was a one-night thing and we will get over it together. I started to cry one night. She heard me and I confronted her. She admitted, and quite fast. Less than 5 minutes in the conversation, she dropped the bomb. I want to divorce. It was as fast as lightning to me. I tried multiple times to make her change her mind. I said that I will do anything to make the marriage work. I suggested we at least not make a decision now, but analyze what went wrong and try to fix things. She does not want it. She says that she is unhappy for some time now. She said that for a few months she's been asking questions, trying to prove herself that things are actually good, but, in her own words, I always kept thinking that this is it. This is the highest of my life and it will be like this forever? I want more, something exciting. I've always been the perfect pupil, the perfect student, marrying my university boyfriend, having a child, having a career. Is this it? And yes, she plans to move with the other man eventually and said that she only sees him making her happy. I am devastated. I can't wrap my head around the situation. How could she been so unhappy and there were no signs? Nobody knew anything. Not her closest friends, not her parents, not me. I don't know what I did wrong, and even now she says that I was a good husband. Even now she says that she never lied when she said she loved me. Still, she does not budge and won't change her mind. I don't know how things degraded in less than a month this bad. I have no idea how to fix things, what I should have done different, what is wrong with me and so on. I talked with other friends, and even though they agree that she should have told me sooner, all said that if she is not happy, and I get it. Happiness is extremely important, but I don't know what is she looking for, and even she can't tell me specific things. She also said that she does not want, when she is old, to tell her child that she sacrificed her life for him. I don't get this at all. We have a good life, and I don't see what she can't do or what she has to sacrifice, except dating other people. I am lost, and I have lost the love of my life, and don't even know how this will affect our child. I am a doctor and she works in pharmaceutical. If it matters, we are both 34 years old. I always helped with the chores. Yes, there were some she did alone, some I did alone, but we pretty much had it split well. Slightly more on me in some cases, car, paying bills, etc. Update. The soon-to-be ex-wife and I had a discussion. I reflected a lot on what could have made her do this. We had calm discussion of inner self-reflection. This is what we both agreed. 1. In her eyes, I started to become less of a man. I always had a rather low self-esteem, and she did not see that I was evolving as a person. At least not for the things that mattered for her. I evolved a lot in my career. I evolved as a parent, but I always remained the nice guy from university who always says sorry. I was relying too much on her to evolve, and not on my inner strength as well. And she saw this as a weakness too. She was selfish and cruel and decided that instead of talking with me about these issues, she chose the easy way out, cheating. 3. Evolving as a couple takes two. I always have been supportive of her and she has as well, but apparently she was not supporting me in the things she though are important for me to evolve for. She knows that I am capable of evolving as a human, but decided that instead of helping me and us as a couple do this, she chose to hide her true feelings. 5. We will be starting divorce procedures and she will move out soon. Update. I am in the anger phase now. I can't believe that she disrespected me so much as to do so many things, cheating, making plans with the AP, hiding her feelings from me, not wanting to try to make things work. We started divorce procedures. Update. Soon-to-be ex-wife living W me. Found some texts with her boss talking about fucking. She claims it's BS, but I'm not buying it. She has nowhere to go, so I said she can stay with me for a little while so our kid doesn't have to suffer with seeing her homeless or whatever. How do I let her live with me for a little while so she can get money for a place without me getting burnt? I know if she has mail sent here she's a resident and I'm just anxious she'll try and be a weasel and screw me over. Any advice is greatly appreciated.